as well. Coach Grant, he got hooked up with Billy Donovan as a Florida assistant for about a decade. First head coaching opportunity with VCU back in '06. Has been the boss with the Flyers since 2017. For Coach Rhodes, a long run with Randolph Mason as the head coach, then came over to VCU as an assistant from '09 to '14. Been running the show the exact same time frame right here with VCU since 2017 as well. And what an incredible fit he has been with this program.
They love him there, and he loves those guys, Jack.
We had such a great visit with Coach this week. I probably have told, oh, look at this right off the bat. What happened right there? You see on the opening tip, Hassan Ward coming up slowly, and such a key piece for the Rams. Is Ward, keep an eye on that as he goes down to the baseline.
It's looking like he's moving okay, thankfully.
Ace Baldwin, pure shot to get the game going.
They need to get the ball in Bones' hands soon as well to get this game going. But Ace taking it right off the top.
VCU has taken some hits. As we are not even a minute into this game, Bones is limping around. Bones, of course, working back from an injury that occurred with his foot, a sprained foot in the George Mason game. VCU has split ever since he left the lineup. 1 win, 1 loss. They beat St. Louis, though. Let's take one more look at Ward.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there.
Something you don't see often. Now this is tipped away. Baldwin had a chance. Drop it back inside, poked away by Stocker.
Really nice hands there by the big man.
Baldwin thought about pulling up. Instead, it's a giveaway.
Coach Grant said one of the keys for the Dayton team is to take care of the ball. VCU is really good at getting their hands in that way, but they need to take care of the ball as well because they can't afford to give this Dayton team extra looks.
Three-pointer, no good. VCU, world famous for that press. They kind of ease their way into it. We actually asked Coach Rhodes about that. We said, you know, you got a little something to this press, right? Like it's not from the very beginning of the game. It always seems like you tighten the screws as the game goes on. You say, yeah, that's those Jedi mind tricks. Yeah, we wait, lull you into it.
Right now, it seems like, you know, back and forth, pinball. But yeah, wait until VCU puts their havoc on. When they crank up the heat, like Jack is talking about, it's going to be intense. But right off the bat, Jack, let's talk about the physicality. I mean, Dayton is setting the tone early.
Ibby Watson drawing the foul.
That's something that Watson does extremely well, too. He gets to the line and draws fouls on the big men. VCU's big men, Stockard and Ward, they're going to be a big player in this game, so Watson's going to keep attacking them.
Teams, of course, put the double team on Crutcher quite a bit. Opens up Watson. And I think he may get a little overshadowed, but as he just showed you recently meaning yesterday, capable of being a superstar any given night, and may need that kind of performance again.
Any given night in the A10 tournament where you play every day, right?
That's right. Literally any given night. 1 of 2. Here's Stockard. Big physical presence inside with a little touch.
I love to see the hook being implemented. Seems like that shot was erased out of the lexicon of big men. Happy to see him bring that back. It's an effective shot.
Here's Watson, a lot of contact, and ball right back to VCU.
One of the things, Jack, if you start a game very physical, they're not going to call, like that could have been a foul easily, right? But if you start the game the way that Dayton did, that you're not going to get that call.
Here's Ace Baldwin. Kick it back, get our first real look at Bones Hyland. What a tough shot, falling out of bounds to get that to go with his right hand.
It looked like he wanted to pass the ball in the air. And he did that little pump fake and still made the shot. You kidding me, Bones? Oh, I hope he gets busy soon. This is amazing to watch him play.
He looks healthy so far, too, doesn't he?
Yeah, no issues, it looks like, thankfully. Even in the passing lanes, doing what they do so well.
Now Bones will draw a foul.
Okay, look at this. So early on, I was saying, why doesn't Bones have the ball in his hands? He gets to the rim, one quick step, and look, that was that hesitation. It looked like, is he looking to pass the ball to Stockard? And then as he was falling, he's like, okay, I got 2 more seconds in the air. I got all the hang time in the world. Let me just lob this one up.
It's crazy how much of this conference, this tournament, seemed to be just resting on the health of Bones Hyland. Everybody's waiting to make their pick after they saw what Bones looked like when he got back out on the court. Thought about pulling up from there. Top of the V.
And don't forget, Bones Hyland and Jalen Crutcher, both of them, easily could be A10 Player of the Year, right? So this matchup is a monumental matchup.
Here's Bones again, takes some contact, unable to get the shot to go, but his man Douglas right there put it back.
It's nice to have friends.
So this quickly, 8-point VCU lead, and now another steal. Down in, missed the shot.
That's uncharacteristic.
See if the Flyers want to run with it. And they do. That's Chapman throwing it away, and now a run for Hyland at Hyland. Quick 4 points coming off the injury. Don't let him start to feel it. It's a 10-point lead right out of this
He must have been
thing.
walking the past 2 weeks. I mean, every step is just keep getting more and more confident. And now look at it today. He is just unbelievable. And this interception was right to him, finishing the contact through the rim. I mean, normally when you're on injury, you're kind of a little hesitant to get into situations where you're going to have that contact. No, Bones is sending it all the way. He knows this is a must-win scenario, or they're going home, and he's playing well. He looks great.
I asked Coach Rhodes right before the game, how close to 100% are we talking as a 3 balls in the air, no good. Blakeney with the putback slams it home.
That's a nice way to respond.
Sure is, and his point was he's a lot closer to 100% today than he was a week ago, and sure looks like it.
He's going to have to, he's going to have to play well, and one of the issues, we saw this in the George Mason game, the overtime loss, is he didn't get the ball soon enough.
Drive won't go. Rebound, Amseal. Now a 3-pointer, rattles out, put back good for Blakeney. Back-to-back buckets for Blakeney.
Boy, has he looked good recently. He's really playing well for this Dayton team.
Hit a couple of threes against Rhode Island, finished with 8 points. Now Bones, you see how far out they're picking him up. Have to. Dangerous from anywhere in the gym, driving the baseline and drawing the foul.
So, Jameer Watkins, the past 2 games, I know we talked about Ace and Vince, but he's been playing well too. He had 14 against Davidson, and he can just, basically when there's a lull and nothing's going down, look for number 0 in white, because he's going to make something happen.
Here's Bones, into the lane, pull up. Such a pretty looking shot there as Bones confidently trots back down the court.
That's already 6 for him. We're 5 minutes into this ball game. So that's that pace. I'm not a mathematician, but that's a lot of points.
And you don't want to overstate the beginning of a game, but Dayton's going to have to start scoring points with them. You don't want to get behind before the press gets turned on. As you see some trapping already starting to happen from Ward, and now they have a chance to run with it. Williams, unable to get it to go.
That's the second missed field goal off a turnover for VCU.
There's Crutcher. Big 3, cut this game to 5.
This is exactly what he does. He's so amazing because Crutcher plays at his own pace. And VCU, look for this, because VCU likes to speed people up and slow them down, speed them up, throw them off. And Crutcher does not get shaken. He plays the game at his own pace.
There's Ace. Nice move. Left hand. Good. Poked away. Just so tough with those hands as you try to come up the court. Foul called. Bones Hyland, one hand on his head as he walks away, playing very aggressively coming back.
So look, this is exactly what VCU does so well. This is havoc, but this is only half-court havoc. Gets their hands in the passing lanes and then finishes on the other end. But then look, so this is what Crutcher does. He plays the game at his own pace. He's slow, looking things out, playing with poise. And VCU just went on, by the way, before that timeout. I mean, they were on an 8-0 run, right? This senior leader did not get shaken. He's still playing the game slow, looking for a shot, and that was a wide-open look. Really nice basketball by Jalen Crutcher.
Bones, a great free throw shooter, misses the first, 88%. That's where he lives from the line.
Looks like he's switching shoes, Crutcher.
It's nice to have a spare pair waiting for you on the bench. Never had that problem. She's second in the A10 is what Bones is in the free throw strike. Lead back to 8.
So now they're picking up full court. Ace, very, 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 very good. Just has a nose for the ball. So look for him. Swiper, no swiping. Number 1.
A little trap on. It's Brea checks into the game. Here's Amsio, who's dribbling with the shot clock expiring. Kept thinking he was going to put a shot up. Not a great sense of urgency, and it expires on the dribble.
So this is another issue that Dayton has to deal with. So VCU, when they start picking up that last possession, Ace picked them up in a full court. They're basically making you work with only 16 or 17 seconds to run your half-court offense. And remember, Jalen Crutcher is a facilitator. He's not in the game right now. So the other players are trying to run the offense in 16 seconds. And you see right there, Emil didn't even know what the shot clock had.
See Crutcher out, Brown Jones in for VCU. And now this is a good little fading away shot right there by Watkins.
So let's look for this possession to see them get into their set quicker, look for their shot sooner. But VCU is getting more and more aggressive defensively.
Corey, the press is easy to talk about. As you see Watson go down there, holding on to that right leg. It's so easy to talk about and focus on this press because it's just fun to watch. It's really aggressive. It's a fun thing to watch when you get the chance to call a VCU game. But any coaches we talk to around the A10, Coach Rhodes included, and especially Coach Grant, they talk about the half-court defense of VCU, and you're seeing how much pressure they apply out there beyond the three-point line, which is already causing issues. Here's Amsio.
They're a great perimeter defensive team. Bones. He's feeling. There are 200 fans in that stand, but Bones getting the bench, getting them hyped up.
Pull up from anywhere.
But so this
poked away
by Bones again.
All the stories, Corey, were about, is he going to be healthy? He looks like he has the freshest legs and the most confidence on the court. Bones
and they're still being a little rattled. And that's exactly what Rhodes does so well, coaching up his team with havoc. Just disrupt you a little bit and create turnovers. That's 6 turnovers for Dayton, resulting in 5 points for VCU.
See the numbers that D can produce, and we asked Coach, how many different versions of this press, this defense do you have? Is it 3 balls in the air? And good looking shot there by Brea.
They are so high on Kobe Brea. Watch him today. He is a star. He's going to be a very good player in this conference. He's a young kid, freshman, out of New York.
I said, Coach, just flip around that play card for us real quick. How many travel steps on the way to the basket? He turned around, smiling, grabs his play sheet. He's reading it off right in front of us. Says 6 and an audible. Let's call it 7 different versions that he can go to. Here's one of them right here. Pick them up right before they cross half court. And you'll notice him on the sideline, all the different hand signals that he does. And now another steal. Ace Baldwin, left hand, easy finish.
That's what he does. He's top 5 in the conference in steals, and it's showing up today.
The lead is 12.
Yeah, so what Dayton needs to do is they just need to relax. And the thing is, you can see this too. Coach Grant, both times they were a little bit rushed. Call the timeout, come back, respond immediately with a good 2, and then now with a good 3. And there's the steal. This is what Ace Baldwin does so well. And there's this thing called lie with your eyes that Coach Rhodes was telling us about. And basically what you do is you kind of give them a false sense of security. You're like, oh, I'm not going to guard you. I'm not looking at the ball. And then as soon as they commit to throwing the ball, you're in the passing lane, and that's all she wrote.
He's throwing around some catchphrases I haven't heard much, if ever, before in the basketball world. He has his own lingo over there with VCU. Let's see if Dayton can produce a little sense of offense, and that's Chapman jump-starting this up.
He missed a lot of the season. He's an important part. Normally a defensive specialist, but happy to see him get something going for Dayton.
Here's Williams working his way in. A little off. Brea with the board.
So one thing to look at here too is VCU is one of the best perimeter defending teams in this conference. And when you have Ibby Watson, who is your number 2 guy, who's incredible from deep, they need to get something going inside. So they're going to need Amsiel to play well. They're going to need their big men to play well.
We'll try a 3 off the mark. It's Stockard working his way to the ground. Bones will keep the ball bouncing, help up Stockard, and then continue the dribble. Here's Williams. Try to work it inside with the big guys. Ward, pretty far away from the basket for that shot, won't go.
Dayton's doing exactly what they need to do. VCU scores in transition, and when Bones Hyland has the ball in his hands, they're making other people beat them.
Crutcher for 3. Thought he was fouled, won't get the call.
How about that approach? That was pretty dramatic.
Now Williams. Get it over to Baldwin for 3. No good.
VCU now is scoreless in the past 2.5 minutes. Bones needs to take over for them to be successful.
We'll get Stockard on the ground. That's 2 now on Stockard. Quick 2. On the inside, Ward checks out. Start to get the bench rotating through. That's Medley Bacon coming in for Ward. That's funny because Coach was talking about Medley Bacon. He's 7'1", 245. Didn't plan on playing him all year, but he's been playing so well in practice. Coach looking for an excuse to get him in the game, and he wasn't lying. Put him in the first half. See Medley Bacon working down low. Here's Crutcher. Right back to VCU. It's a 10-point ball game. VCU offense cooling off a little bit, but still well in control. Those end up in Marshall, then Florida, then Oklahoma City with the Thunder. So really a great person for Coach Grant to learn from, and he's flourished, now getting his own chance.
And Coach Grant has such a sense of peace and calm about him, and you can see that in his teams. Like this team, I mean, you put any other person like going up against that many points off transition, that many turnovers, they would be shaken. But not this Dayton team.
Corey, Bones Hyland cannot miss.
Yeah, I mean, 13 points in the first half.
2 of 2 from 3, 5 of 7 from the field. Shooting every chance he gets. It just cannot miss. 13-point game.
I mean, when you're playing for your life at home, when you see the VCU logo on the floor, and this could be your last game of the season, yeah. I mean, you come out to play.
Looks like a foul called. Coach Grant trying to figure it out.
So this Dayton team, right? So we're talking about offensively, what they need to do. Chimanga needs to take a more aggressive approach. Last time he played, VCU had 10 points. Time before that, his first double-double of the season, right? VCU struggles interiorly. And right now, you're seeing too many blue jerseys outside the three-point line. More of that is all we need.
Is that what you're looking for? Chimanga. Pull up, nice float, nice touch. Gets it to go.
They just don't have an answer inside for Chimanga. So I would be curious to see them keep the ball out of Bones Hyland's hands and get the ball interior on the other end.
Get how deep Bones Hyland is. Pure shot.
This is why.
Hadn't hit the net so far.
But the thing is this, Jack, that wasn't even when you think about, okay, basketball terminology, efficiency, good shots, that was, I would never tell my son or daughter to take that shot, right? But it's an open shot for Bones. And I think that's what makes it so hard to guard. I mean, look at this. This is craziness. How?
I think they call that a heat check.
It felt like his heat check was 3 or 4 shots ago, 8 points ago. I mean,
they might call that fire. Good point.
Once again, if I was VCU, the ball would be in Bones' hand every single possession.
Get your first look offensively at Medley Bacon, playing some big minutes in this first half.
You see Crutcher there a little frustrated.
Personal foul is charged here, number 1.
Get the foul on Baldwin. That'll be his first.
Number 7 on the Rams.
One of the ways that Crutcher will get into his rhythm is when his bigs set really strong picks and he feels like he has time to either attack or kind of look in for his open shot. And I think this has been one of the issues because whenever those guys come into screen, VCU does a hard trap. And it's not, he doesn't have any space to think and play the game at his pace. So that's when you're seeing these turnovers, and that's why they already have 9 turnovers. That was his frustration right there with Zimmy.
In the A10, other conferences around college basketball, one thing we just seem to keep noticing over and over again is these teams that are playing back-to-back games are having a tough go. It's the teams that have a little rest that have been showing up and playing their best. Now Bones to Williams, and that's too high, threw it out of bounds.
Give it the ball back to the hot hand. It's not, it's not complicated.
And now you're going to see him pick it up in the full.
Not a lot of pressure there, Jack.
You never know, do you? And I think that's the point. That's what they try to create, is that doubt in your mind of, is he going to let me pull this one over the half court without getting the full trap? And when you always had that theory that it's all the different versions. This shot gets the roll from Crutcher and down. They needed one.
Crutcher looked like somebody at a slots machine, right? Waiting for that last one to fall. He was like, did I get it? Did I get it?
Here's Bones. Wants the screen. Gets it down to Williams.
So this is an interesting point. Chapman, who is back, he missed 11 games with an injury. He held Anthony Edwards, who now is playing in the NBA, top draft pick, to 6 points when they played last time. I mean, to think about how talented Anthony Edwards is as a scorer in the NBA and what he did in college at Georgia, Chapman is a defensive specialist, right? And obviously, Bones Hyland has 16 points right now, but we're starting to see him put the clamps on Bones. And if he's successful, then VCU is going to be in trouble.
Here's Hyland again. Where were those clamps you were talking about?
It must have misplaced the clamps. Something happened on that out-of-bound possession. I don't know where the clamps were, but they weren't on Bones.
And one of the points that Coach Grant was making to us is that having Chapman back really helps Crutcher a great deal, just because he's bringing the ball up the court. And it allows Crutcher to just go focus on offense, go find his spot without having to focus so much on full-time ball handling.
Yeah, sometimes you'll see that with players in AAU or in college or in the NBA where they're ball dominant. They need to have the ball, which just basically means I need to have the ball to be effective. But Crutcher is one of those special players where he does not. He can help the team win without having the ball in his hands. And when he does get the ball in his hands, he elevates everyone's play around him. But let's talk about Bones right now. He's talking himself into a rhythm. He has 18 at the first, based in the first half, and he got a warning for talking to the ref. Looks like he's talking a little bit of smack. But, I mean, that's part of the game, right? Bones plays with a lot of positivity, a lot of energy, and sometimes that manifests itself in trash talk. He needs to be careful because his team needs him.
Chapman for 3 off the backboard. Yeah, I don't know that the conversation started with the ref, but there has been a little chatter back and forth up and down the court, and now the ref trying to put an end to it.
VCU has a lot of young players, a lot of freshmen and sophomores, and this is one thing that Coach Rhodes said in the past to us. He said, sometimes our young players don't play with the maturity.
And Bones Hyland, season high, career high, 31 points. He may be chasing that number. Already has 18. Not even just under 4 minutes now in the first half. Here's Crutcher, nice little floater on the inside.
Whenever the team's against the wall, this is when Crutcher comes to play. He has literally ice water in his veins. I mean, like Poland Springs in his veins, you know?
Oh, look, this Baldwin loses it. Just dribbled it right off his foot, looked like, in a jump ball. We'll take a break. Lead is 11. We're under 3:30. VCU, Bones Hyland. Look like they have these numbers so far. Bones Hyland, 18 points. Dayton as a team, they have 20. These two are competing more than the two teams on the court so far.
I mean, this graphic is shocking. I mean, Bones is just going to work. He's getting busy today. They call him Busy Bones for a reason, you know. And we're seeing it in full display.
Here's Ward.
And the craziest thing is Jalen Crutcher has 8 points, right? I mean, he's on track, for just a notch under 20, but we can't even focus on him right now because Bones is 18.
Quietly grabbed 4 rebounds as well. Here's Hyland again. That's a deep 3. And starting to finally cool it off.
See, Watson has been extremely quiet today, and when he only has 1 point, he needs to step up for this team and either get to the line or hit some open shots. They need to get him more involved. He's a critical part of the offense.
Poked away again. Tom Seal getting the roll.
See, go inside.
Excuse me, Shamanga getting the roll.
That has been pretty basically Crutcher and going inside have been the bright spots for Dayton today. I'd go back to it if I were them. I mean, it's working. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. There we go.
For an easy turnover. Now finally an opportunity to run for Dayton, and Watson swirls it around, but out. Possession stays here.
But let's go back to Bones really quick. They call him Busy Bones because he gets busy on the court, and look at this. He is basically everywhere. Defensively, like Jack said, picking up 4 boards, knocking down shots from places that I'm not even familiar with that area on the court. It's just too far out. And contested, wide open, it's all Bones right now.
Now Crutcher drives in, put back Shamanga. Back-to-back baskets.
Feed the big man.
Starting to eat away at this lead. Now cut it to 7. Under 2 minutes to play in the first half.
Starting to hear that noise? Is that noise I hear?
It's good to hear that, isn't it?
But we talked to Jalen, and he said, "What'd he do without fans, Jack?"
Here's Ward, the monster going inside. Nice little touch too as he wiggled his way through traffic.
And one of the things is your bench. Your bench steps up, and Dayton's bench is bringing some energy. Much needed energy.
Shamanga has a clear size advantage. They've been having success with him. See if they go right back to him down inside. Shamanga Chance for a board there. That's Watson who drew the foul.
Once again, cannot stress this enough. VCU's perimeter defense is lockdown. I know we talked about clamps before. This is lockdown beyond the three-point line. Maybe Watson is a phenomenal three-point shooter, but he's not a one-trick pony. He can go to the line and get your bigs in foul trouble, which only helps Shimanga, right? Because we talked about that size advantage. And it gets him to the line to get some easy points. And finally, it slows down the pace of the game.
Coming up on the U.S. Bank halftime report, highlights from the earlier games, keys to the second half, headed your way as well.
And look, just like that, Jack, look at that. It's a 7-point game.
After Watson going 20-plus yesterday, 3 points to start.
In moments like this, when Bones cools down a little bit, this is when players like Vince Williams, that we highlighted, like Ace will drive to the basket, finish around the rim, or Watkins will bring some life. But right now, they're not bringing any life, and it's been stagnant for them.
You see Chapman, who's been trying to lock down Bones Hyland. According to coach, he's a great defender, draws the toughest assignment in the backcourt every game regardless, and it's a pretty clear choice in this game. That's Medley Bacon out there. Bones with the back cut, up and under. Easy finish.
Nice dish by the big man. 6'9" Hassan Ward with vision. Love to see it.
So that's 20 first half points for Bones Hyland. And Dayton going to slow things down for the final shot. About 4 seconds or so remaining after Chapman lets it go, and that's off the mark, way off the mark. And now VCU is going to get an opportunity.
If there's 25 seconds left in the half, Jack, I'm giving the ball to Jalen Crutcher.
Team foul number 5 on the Flyers.
You thought they were going to try to wait, regardless there, VCU is going to get a chance about 4 or 5 seconds on the tail end. Instead, they'll get the full 11. See if they get it to Hyland again. They won't. It's Ace who pulls up. Bones with the rebound and put back. Bones Hyland is smooth as ice all first half long.
That's literally the story of this first half.
23 in the first.
Because we were saying, okay, well, last shot, well, you know, once again, if there's 10 seconds on the clock, I want Bones to have the ball. And naturally, the rim said, you know what, guys, we're going to give you exactly that. Here's the ball, Bones. Everything in the universe around that arena is working in his favor. You see that? I mean, a buzzer beater? Come on, Jack. 23 points at half. You can't write it. You can't write it.
I was shocked that Baldwin took the shot to begin with. I'd say they had a little time on the clock. Let's welcome in Coach Rhodes. Coach, that play there at the end of the half, talk us through it. What did you see there?
Exactly what the coach drew up, right? No, you know, honestly, offense, we've been a little sporadic. Then we have some guys that can get downhill and make plays, and Bones is one of them. But we got to clean it up a little more offensively, have more flow. But the one thing, we are passing the ball. We're finding ways to make plays. We just got to be a little bit smoother. But that last play there, you know, it's just a good player making a play there and not panicking at going down the stretch there.
Coach, you have been all in the passing lanes, forcing turnovers left and right. But recently, it seems like Dayton's been able to establish some sort of rhythm. Going into the second half, what are your keys to make sure that you come out with a win?
Yeah, we got to get back to getting some, disrupt them and denying stuff and all that stuff. But the one thing is guard the ball. It doesn't matter what we do. If we don't guard the dribble and the guys get downhill, then we're in rotation. They're too good of a team. They'll hurt us there. So we got lucky there at the end. We got to come back and play a really good half of defense.
Coach, really appreciate your time and best of luck in the second half.
Thank you.
So the score at halftime, 37-26, 11-point VCU lead. Get you in for the U.S. Bank halftime report. Here's Ahmed Fareed and Rod Thompson. All you gentlemen. There is no rust on VCU, no rust on Bones Hyland as you take a look at the Capitol building downtown Richmond. I want to show you the stats from the first half. 11 turnovers. 11 Dayton turnovers have been turned into 12 VCU points. Probably the biggest story is the way VCU shooting the basketball, particularly from three.
Yeah, it's hard to lose when you're shooting 60%. But let's focus on the offensive rebounds here. Dayton has 7, and a lot of them are second chance putbacks in the paint or putbacks for Shimanga in the paint. This is a key thing that has been successful for them. Think about this for Dayton for a second. Jalen Crutcher has 8 points, right? Ibby Watson has 3 points. You need to get something going, right, to keep this into a game. And what has been working for them phenomenally well is inside. So I would just keep going inside. Let your big man bully down there, take advantage of the fact that, hey, we can out-rebound them and make that turn into magic.
Been more of a balanced attack for Dayton and a one-man show on the other side for the Rams. Not a great first possession there for Dayton. Go ahead, Corey.
And keep this in mind. Jalen Crutcher is known for going off in the second half. So just put that out there. Keep an eye out for him because he can go off at any. I'm talking 12 points in 2 minutes. He can do anything.
They're going to need it. There's Stocker. Had a little foul trouble in the first half. Back in, unable to get his first look to go down.
Back-to-back possessions going straight to Shimanga, Jack.
It's another foul called on Stocker. A tough way to start it off. That's 3 now. They had removed him from the game when he got 2, and they'll bring him right back out. That's a soft third foul, too.
This is exactly what Dayton needs to do. Ibby Watson, remember, he drove and got Stocker that first foul. I would not be surprised to see him drive again, continue to get their big men in foul trouble. Wear him thin.
Here's Watson, floater off the backboard. We'll work the post with Ward. Ward looking for the backboard. Douglas trying his turn. Neither will go.
That looked like a nice move by Ward, but couldn't get to fall.
Chapman for 3. Down.
So I'm saying, it's crazy to me, Jack, because when we were looking at the halftime stats, I'm like, Bones Hyland has 22 points, and it's still an 11-point game, right? That's what's so crazy. It's not like this is out of hand. This game is not over.
Now into the lane, back to Ward, and Ward to the line for 2 free throws. Foul goes to Shimanga.
Personal foul charge to number 10.
So look, this is what we're talking about. Chapman is a defensive specialist, but that's not all he can do. He's hit some shots earlier in this game, and that's another huge shot for Dayton. And this was the thing that was a question during Rhode Island's game, right? Can Dayton's supporting staff around Watson and Crutcher make shots for them when the defense clamps down on Watson and Crutcher? And Chapman's showing up. So we'll see how it works out the rest of this half.
There's Ward, unable to get the free throw to go. They're still looking to set up this trap right there at half court.
Some miracle catches on that possession.
Dayton struggled to get comfortable in their half-court offense. They're picking them up very high.
See, that's
a ton of ball pressure.
Jack, that's it right there on these. Dayton likes to run pick and rolls like every other team in basketball, but VCU is so aggressive.
And so far, they're getting the ball to Ward. Ward continuing to draw fouls.
Isn't that interesting? Because you think, Bones is playing so well, just keep feeding him, but this has been effective for VCU this far. You know what it is probably, actually, Jack? Look, if you get Ward to get their big guys in foul trouble, that takes them out of the game, and that's the only offensive spark that they've had. So just get them out on the bench in the first 5 or 6 minutes. Now they're starting to think on the other end. They're not going to be as aggressive. And then when Bones does Bones' things, which is just, buckets, that's calling game.
That's free throw number 1 that Ward has got to fall. 2 for 2 there. Ward coming off a double-double against Davidson back on the 27th. Full court pressure applied, but they're able to sneak it behind the defense. Now Crutcher can't get it to go, and it's a power play opportunity back the other way, but Hyland says that's far enough, won't get it to go, and Douglas, kind of a lazy foul on the rebound.
Personal foul charge to number 13, Corey Douglas. That's his first. Team foul number 2 on VCU.
It's not like Dayton's been getting bad looks. That floater by Crutcher, the floater by Watson. The Shimanga one-on-one wasn't a great look, but like these are makeable shots. And then now VCU's doing that press, getting 10 seconds off the clock every time down the floor.
Ward has been a force to start the second half. Now Ace Baldwin draws a foul, tried to get it up with the left hand. Looks like they're going to get Chapman on the arm.
So Hassan Ward, we didn't really talk about him very much because it was all bones in the first half, but Ward is massive, 6'9", 7'4", right? And look at the way he just grabs his ball. And then Ace, this is what VCU does so well. You get off in transition, you're off to the races, and Ace and Bones can finish at the rim. You know, Coach Rhodes called them an octopus. It looks like defensively, they're all over the place because of these things. Like, once you just get a tentacle on it, I mean, they finish on the other end. It's just game over.
Here's where Ward sits. Third in the A10, all the block leaders per game. Brown Jones check back in. Ward checks out temporarily.
Those lob passes are dangerous.
Here's Watson into a lane. No good. Put back. And they do get the foul call. Shimanga to the line.
Personal foul is charged to number 13, Corey Douglas. That's his second.
So this is just heads up. See that right there, that shifting? He tried to block him out, but Shimanga just went right in between two white jerseys, got the second chance opportunity, which has been huge for Dayton, and now he's getting rewarded for it at the free throw line.
Lead back to 10 now. Coach Grant called Shimanga the anchor for Dayton. Great defender, great rebounder, leads the team in that area. Said he's a terrific teammate more than anything. Do anything to help his teammates be successful. Here's Shimanga, short on the second.
It's interesting because right now, compared to the first half, this seems like a slog. You know, like molasses. It's still a good game. Look, Jack, don't get me wrong. I'm still enjoying myself. We're still having a good time. But it is a lot slower. There's a steal. But this plays in Dayton's favor is what I'm trying to say. Because VCU, they like it fast. Because when Bones is playing one-on-one or Ace is in transition, that's when they're at their best. And Dayton, it's only a 10-point game. If it's at this pace, Dayton has a chance to come back in this game and win.
Well, you knew Coach Grant was going to be making some halftime adjustments, and namely to try to put a little more pressure on Bones Hyland. Haven't seen him be very aggressive to start the second half. He has 22 points. They actually changed that three that he hit right at the end of the first to a 2. His foot was just barely on the line. Now Shimanga from the top of the key said, "I'll take it myself," and usually the result, offensive foul.
Look, I got to say, though, Jack, I don't know if taking that charge was worth it. I mean, look at Vince right now. He looks like he's in a lot of pain. That was one of the hardest. I mean, look at that.
He hit his head pretty good. Yeah, it's a hard fall.
And that is rugby contact right there. So hopefully Vince is okay. But I mean, that charge was a costly charge, to say the least. Yeah, he looks like he's in a lot of pain. I hope he's okay.
He also rolled his ankle on Saturday. Coach was saying he's going to be good to go, though. One of the toughest guys on that VCU roster. You see him limp back towards the locker room there in a lot of pain.
And Vince Williams has he actually just went to his knees over there. He's been battling injuries throughout his career.
Steal. Crutcher tries to get it in transition. Possession stays right here. In a 10-point ball game, we will take a quick break. You're watching the A10
Tournament.
Tournament.
So, look. These two players, both in contention for A10 Player of the Year. Jalen Crutcher is phenomenal, so is Bones Hyland. The thing that's so interesting, though, is Bones, when he played this team last time, he averaged 23.5 across both games. He's already at that average in the first half, right? If he would have played the same way he had been playing, which is what Jalen Crutcher's doing, 8 points, 10 points, what's the score, Jack? Dayton's up.
I hear you.
And that's what the story of this game is that's so interesting. It looks like it was all VCU all the time. That's not entirely the case. The stat sheet is a little misleading.
Crutcher tried to launch one. Or Shamanga getting a hand on it and lost it.
So if you're VCU, what you should be doing on this possession is feed Bones. Because when Bones is hot, as we saw in the first half, what can you do?
Here's Ace. Get it over for a three. That's Jameer Watkins. Yes, sir.
As we talk about, whenever there's a lull, Jameer Watkins is their offensive energizer bunny. He's like that portable, like power pack that you have when your battery's a little low. You're just like, I'm just gonna plug it in, get a little bit of juice.
Dayton could use a quick charge right now. Drop this in. Medley Bacon playing big minutes. Swirls it around, but rolls out to conclude. Now Watson, open look from three. That was the shot that he couldn't miss yesterday and can't find it so far in game 2.
All of his points, Jack, have been from the free throw line.
Again, Watkins. Not this time.
Ooh.
He tried to slow it down, take their time with the possession, and instead you get an elevation on the other side of the court by Watkins. Starting to make his presence felt.
That was like 30%, 50%. We're out of the red. We're back in green, man. The phone battery is charged. That's it. Just like that, it's a 15-point game.
They're not paying attention. They're just giving the ball away.
Okay, so let's look at Havoc. This is what Havoc looks like. This is almost like, I don't know if you watch baseball, Jack, but do you know when you're stealing a base? And you're like maybe 1 or 2 steps away, and then as soon as the ball, like right when the pitcher winds up, you're gone. 3, 4 steps, and I don't know how they make up that space. That's what we just saw. Watkins was like 8 feet away from the dude, 8 feet away from the guy, and still got his hand on the ball. That's a stat they should track at VCU, stolen bases.
We were talking about some of that ball hawking ability. Who are some of the best ball hawks that you have on this team? Talking with Coach Rhodes, and one of the first names mentioned was Watkins. There's an example.
I mean, that's like, imagine if you're at the kitchen table, right, and there's a box of cookies. He's like sitting on the couch. You're like, this box of cookies is mine. I'm like right next to it, right? You look down for 1 second. Watkins has a box of cookies. That's what this was like. How in the world did he get there? I don't know.
There's Brea back into the game. Watkins again. Hands right around the basketball. Shamanga. He can't gather. Finally does in a left-handed finish. All Shamanga. 3 defenders wrapped around him.
Man, he's playing well.
Bones Hyland just been letting this second half come to him. Inside to Ward. Ward, easy bucket down on the inside. Had a nice size advantage. Made him pay. Now Chapman for 3. Shamanga another board. Shamanga is fouled.
Get used to saying that the second half, Jack. He's gonna have to be a big player for them. Look at this. Watkins, as we talked about, has a knack for steals, and Shamanga not only can keep him away, but 2 of his teammates away, gets the foul, gets the bucket. And then now we see him get the rebound and the foul. For some reason, Chimanga has VCU's number. Like I said, double-double in the first time against them, 10 points in the last time against them, and he's knocking on double digits today.
We got Medley Bacon for the foul. So they'll bring Stockard back in with the 3 personals that he has. Try to give Chimanga a different look as Chimanga gets the free throw to fall. And now 32 will check out of the game. Bring back in Mustafa Amsil. 14 points he had off the bench against Rhode Island, 5 of 6 from the field. Just trying to regain that heat that they had yesterday. Now a foul up top on Crutcher.
Personal foul is charged to number 10, Jalen Crutcher.
And to be productive, too, as Amsil has been, with very limited practice time, very limited. I mean, he's had to learn on the fly. And quick learner.
Now we may get a look at Bones Hyland here. Little half spin move. Goes in, but he comes up gimping after a missed layup. Keep an eye on the other end of the court. The superstar's yet to make it back on defense. Tipped up in the air by Ward. You see Bones. Looks like he's able to run at least a little bit. Flips it down to Ward, and Ward elevates and slams it home. Huge slam.
My brain does not compute.
Wow.
Yeah, that wingspan they talk about, Corey?
7'4"? That's what it looks like?
VCU pulling away a little bit in the second half, but this now becomes the key story once again. Same thing we were focused on coming into the game, but this looks like potentially something different as you see Bones, that left leg kind of dragging behind him after the missed layup. Hobbles up the court, Corey. But watch the beautiful pass he's able to deliver despite clearly being in some pain.
Yeah, I mean, that's a dime. There's no question about it. But the thing, like you said, is his leg okay? It looks like his left lower extremity, maybe his calf. Is that okay? It doesn't seem like everyone is concerned over there, but it just looks like they're just making sure that it's stretched out, rolled out. Maybe it's a cramp, who knows, and don't want to speculate. But it seems like he'll just get a rest and hopefully come back because, I mean, he's been such a brilliant performer today. It'd be a shame for him to not be able to perform, for the rest of the tournament. So hopefully he's okay.
Here's another potential turnover. They'll get steps. Bracket as we continue forward. Semis are set on one side. Still waiting on the other. VCU and Dayton currently in action right now. Davidson GMU coming up after us at 5:30.
Can't wait to see it. I'm telling you. George Mason gave VCU a really tough run last time they played, and so did Davidson. And right now, VCU is comfortably in the lead. So we'll see what happens.
Here's Stockard. Haven't seen a lot of him so far. Double team comes over, doesn't matter. Big body down low, powerful on the inside.
He looked like an extra on one of those, Mission Impossible movies or something, where the hero makes a move and then just flies off screen. Stockard's big, man. Big body.
Throwing people out of his way. 245 on a 6'8" frame. Now Crutcher.
If you want to get hot right now, this is what Jalen Crutcher does. Second half, brings his team back from the fringes of life. This is it. He hasn't. That was his first bucket all second half, and this is the time to turn it on. And this is exactly what he does. Once again, Poland Springs in his veins. He just has ice water.
It's a 51-36 game. Pick him up in the full court. You see big Hassan Ward just sitting there waiting, and now he'll drift back. Some of the mind tricks at play.
I mean, it's amazing to see 6'9" Hassan Ward with 7'4" wingspan. Did you see that? He was trapping in the opponent's half on that full court press. What athleticism.
Stockard wants it again.
Yeah, give it to him.
Here's Stockard down inside. Foul called on the ground.
Oh, Bones is up. First half, he went off. He got the knocked around. The second half, he had to go to the bench, and it looks like he's working out that left leg. We're unsure with what exactly happened, but we do know that he was getting worked on with a couple different trainers during those past 2 timeouts.
This VCU team, I mean, despite how well they're playing, they've taken some hard hits in this game.
It's been
Vince
physical.
Williams go to the ground hard. He's over there sitting in a T-shirt now. Unclear on his status. Now coming into the lane, Banks. And Banks gets the bank.
Bank is open. It's Friday, right? It's not business hours. What's the bank hours?
Oh, it's open.
It's open.
Here's Brea.
Dang, this is interesting to see. Crutcher, a little frustrated with that shot, clanked out there. But this is, I'm telling you, this is when he goes off.
We'll get Amsiel with the foul. But most importantly, Bones Hyland's back in the game, and we'll see how he's moving around. Last thing we saw out of him was the beautiful alley-oop that he threw up to Ward, which he put down with a whole lot of authority.
Oh, this is a nice matchup right here. Bones.
Look at how patient Bones is out there under pressure. Share it with Stockard. That's Crutcher, too. 2 superstars out there going at it. Banks into the lane, see if he can go back-to-back. Draws a foul.
You know, it is pretty interesting, though, to see that matchup, Jack, because Chapman, their lockdown specialist, has been on Bones most of the day. Obviously, Bones has 22 points. But when you see like these top players play against each other, their teams, you love to see that matchup. You live for that best player on best player. And when your team's, down by a lot, now's the time to pick it up. So
22 for Bones, but not a single point in the second half. Granted, he missed a bunch of it with the injury, but really was not looking to shoot to begin the half either.
I'm excited to see what happens this last 10 minutes, Jack, because when you're down by this much, you have a tendency to play outside of your game, especially when your season's on the line. You have 9 more minutes left in your season. You start thinking, okay, maybe we just need to jack up threes. Does Dayton play their game, or do they try to play outside of their personality to try to get back in this game? Watson is knockout from 3, so I'd be curious to see if him and Crutcher just start shooting from deep.
Foul call. Look at Jameer Watkins. VCU, 17 fouls. Look at the difference. Ibby Watson, 25 points. He couldn't hit the rim, let alone miss. A day later, you talk about the effects of this pressure, not only in the full court, in the half court also. Hasn't been able to get anything to fall as we're coming down on the 8-minute mark in the second half.
Today, Ibby Watson's been driving and getting to the rim. That's where his 3 points, for anyone curious how he's 0 for 7 and has 3 points. It's been at the free throw line. But Watson yesterday he hit 6 from 11 from 3-point line. I mean, that's crazy. That's flip of the coin. If you're tossing a coin from beyond the arc, I mean, that's unbelievable. Today, he has not been as fortunate, and they need to get something going. Now is the time to start flipping the coin from 3.
Hyland looks like he's moving pretty well since he's come back. Keep an eye on that. Foul. And a quick break for Dayton. They needed one badly. Coach Rhodes can't believe it.
Who was it, though? Jalen Crutcher.
Number 33, Josh Banks, whistle for his first personal.
Making plays on the defensive end as well. I'd go right back to him on the offensive end. I would say, hey, let's get him into a rhythm.
Quick jump ball. Watson and Bones Hyland. Bones Hyland wouldn't let that thing go. Possession arrow goes right back to VCU.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's the fight. What does the vibe of the game feel like to you, Jack, right now?
It feels like VCU domination.
Yeah, I mean, the first half, it seemed very, like I said, just exciting kind of, you know. It seems very, almost like all the air has left the arena.
Dayton has never looked comfortable in the half court, in the full court offense. Every shot doesn't look like the shot that they want. Now Banks trying to choose his shot. And it's been, the results have been in line with that. Look at that. That's typically Crutcher is chilling right there, and instead he's double teamed.
Yeah. Every time he touches the ball. Look, Hassan Ward didn't even go back to the guy until 4 seconds after the pick. And he still came back and made a play on the other end.
The Rams are having their way.
Star player who had 22 points in the first half. He's been banged up today. Hassan Ward, Vince Williams. I mean, the list goes on and on. But yet, here we are. They're still going to work, still doing their thing.
Dayton is shooting 3 of 14. Make that 4 of 15 as the shot goes.
That was Mr. Watson. First bucket from the day.
It is. It's the first 3 we've seen from Watson. Cut the lead back to 15 and a foul up top. That's Chapman on the ground, grabbing his right leg. Another hard fall for Bones Hyland, who walks away. Gimpy. It's just been a physical, hard-falling battle without a close scoreboard. Exactly how you described it. It's just a strange fall there for Chapman.
Oh. You absolutely hate to see that. And once again, like, think about everything that both teams, the conference, these student athletes have put in to be able to play this year. Just generally, all the sacrifices that they had to do to make sure that they were healthy and COVID-free to be able to play this game that they love. I mean, Chapman's struggled so much with injuries, missed those games because of the hand injury, and now you see him coming off. This could be the last game of his season. I mean, that's really tough.
Only played 9 games during the regular season. As Bones Hyland's up, Chapman goes into the locker room. Send him our best, and Bones still trying to figure out all the injuries he's dealing with his legs coming into this game. Had a sprained foot. We've seen him get banged around, but play some of his best basketball. No rust he's had. 23 points now. That's his first point, though, of this second half.
And VCU's still been able to score. Right, that was kind of the question in the first half, is just give the ball to Bones and get out of the way. Second half, they...
Crutcher aggressively with the right hand, floats it in.
There's still a lot of time left. I mean, look, I know it's a 14-point game, but we saw Jalen Crutcher score 12 points in 2 minutes sometime this season, so it's definitely possible.
Easy money, Bones Hyland.
Oh, he wanted that steal.
It was Blakeney who lost it. Now Blakeney going to draw the 4th foul on Stockard. You can just see the frustration.
There he is, Mr. Clutch. High off the glass. You got to love that. And then right on the other end, a quick answer. That's just a smart heads-up backdoor cut by Bones. And Ace doing what Ace does. I mean, Ace might be short for assist. I don't know. He's been playing really well, man. And Bones, like you said, quiet second half, but don't tempt him. He can score whenever he wants to. RJ Blakeney, though, is an interesting story. He's been playing very well for this Dayton team. Kind of quiet today, though.
Really a bouncy player. Blakeney, now we're going to see some full court press from the Flyers, and That pass floats in the air for a handful of seconds. Now down to the inside, and look at Douglas elevate.
Corey Douglas.
I guess, do they have posters these days, or are they more just like memes on social media? It's just like a GIF, you know, like that's going to be a GIF that's on some kid's phone. Is that the equivalent of a poster?
Modern day version, correct. Now a deep three from Crutcher. It's exactly what they needed. Cut this lead back down to 13.
But look at the way they're coming back in transition. They look tired, Jack.
Now another player coming up limping. It's Blakeney.
This is one of those scenarios where you played so many games. It's the A10 tournament. Everyone's banged up. You want to win so bad, right? And you just, as a competitor, you're like, carry me off my shield. But, I mean, it's just so tough. Everyone's giving it all they have today, and it's inspiring to see because it's the quarterfinals of the A10 tournament. This is the time.
The discomfort continues offensively. That's Amsiel falling out of bounds. Now Crutcher forces another three. It's way off the mark. You'll see the Rams start to slow down the pace offensively.
You know, Coach Rhodes, Jack, has done a phenomenal job with that press that we talked about, that defensive scheme that seems so multiple and so confusing, so organic. And he learned it back in high school, right? Is that right?
That's right. Actually, his uncle. Now Brea comes in, drops it back inside. That's Amsiel turning around, getting an easy bucket. Skating not totally out of hand yet, just need a couple of stops. Bones Hyland is off. Yeah, you mentioned it though. I was trying to figure out where was the origin of this havoc defense, this full court press, particularly with regards to Coach Rhodes. As you see Amsiel line one up, bullseye.
Mustafa, go to work. I love it.
10-point now, Dayton has made 5 of their last 6 shots, an 8-2 run they're putting together. Lee is cut to 10.
Don't count them out. This is, I'm telling you.
Just need a stop. Here's Baldwin. Ward, Hyland. There's a lot of comfort on the part of VCU under pressure. Stockard now. It's been good in the post when he's gotten opportunities. Not this time, poked away.
See, Stockard's been kind of had Amsiel's number, but there we had some help.
Here's Ibby Watson, and Watson makes this a 7-point ball game. They're right back in it.
That's what it's all about.
Tipped away, and Dayton ball.
The momentum, the shift. It's unbelievable. It's funny, Jack, because it's, first of all, that Watson 3, I heard the splash from here. That was just pure. That was pure. Beautiful. Oh, beautiful. Textbook. Step backs. Did I even touch orange? But defense turns to offense.
And now a foul called on VCU. That means free throws. We'll get Ace Baldwin. Just like that. That's all they needed. A couple stops all game long, though. It's been VCU as the aggressors. In these last handful of possessions, all of a sudden, Dayton picking them up in the full court and causing issues.
This is the biggest critical piece of this ballgame, right? That's what VCU excels at, is havoc. The whole idea of havoc is defense to create offense. And Dayton did just that the past 2 possessions. Tough defensive play that then turns into points for their team on the other end.
Crutcher 1 for 2.
They even took the havoc full court press.
VCU just really slowing down the pace. Taking that foot off the gas pedal, is now trying to get into the lane as Baldwin will draw a foul.
I don't know, Jack. I think it just doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. You know, I'm sitting here looking at VCU's game today. The story is Bones, right? It's don't slow down the game. It's transition ball and Bones. If it's a 6-point game and it's going down to the wire, I'd give him the ball.
The story of the first half was definitely Bones. So far in the second, hasn't been able to get much going. 25 points, 22 of those came in the first. 3 of 7 from the field. 3 of 7 from 3 is where he currently is as Baldwin gets it to fall.
I know this is a chess match, basketball. I mean, both these teams have played each other 2 times. VCU's won handily both times. But first half, you see what happens, and in second half, you make adjustments. But the adjustments that both teams made the second half, slow the game down, work inside. I don't know. For VCU, I understand what they're trying to do, but Bones, man, get him going.
30-second timeout.
Like, let me put it this way. Jack, would you, if your 8-point game is 3 minutes and Dayton's on this run building, do you want to run a inside to Levi Stockard 1-on-1 on Amsil, or do you want to go Bones, Jalen Crutcher? Where would you bet if you were betting that?
I've been shocked by the lack of setup that they've had for Bones Hyland, particularly in the half court in the second half. In the first half, coming back from injury, you didn't know if he'd be rusty, didn't know if he'd try to ease himself back into the game. He was aggressive almost every possession, even some shots that were a bit forced, but with the way he was shooting it, just keep pressing. And in the second, he really has done nothing. Now keep in mind, there's still 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in this game. And Bones Hyland has a way of being patient, waiting for his shot. Still plenty of time to get it going.
You can see that energy. He's talking his guys up. You can already see the cloud of energy around Bones. I have a feeling this game is not over yet. We might see ourselves a shootout.
Dayton has to have a basket right here. Crutcher inside for the lob. Draw a foul on Ward.
Personal foul charge to number 20, Hassan Ward. That's his first personal.
That's Wokage.
Wokage will shoot a pair.
Gets to shoot a pair of free throws from the line. Big free throws at that. First one's good.
See, they brought back in Stockard because of that. Keep attacking. It's worked for Ibi Watts in the first half. It's been effective this half.
Shooters roll in the second. Lead is cut back to 6. Traps on. Flip it ahead. Just barely able to come down with its Ward, and the finger roll finish is good.
His finesse amazes me for his size. That's a tough move, Jack.
Crutcher into the lane, passes it back out. Open 3 for Amsil, unable to get it to go.
See, this is the pace that we expected to see.
Bones Hyland draws the foul, and free throws forthcoming.
But see, look at that last 2 possessions, Jack. That pace was VCU pace. That felt like the first half. Hassan Ward doing, once again, 6'9", moving like that. A guy sets up for a charge, he just weaves around him, finger rolls, and then Bones going to the free throw line. That's what VCU does.
Ward's been a star. 10 points, 5 rebounds, 2 big blocks coming over, protecting the rim. Now Hyland, great free throw shooter, can apply plenty of pressure to the Flyers.
If they play at that pace, the problem though, Jack, so this is what if they keep playing like this, the clock runs, and then it goes from a 6-point game to a 10-point game within a matter of seconds, or 9.
Second free throw won't go, so leads 9. Quick shot from Watson, unable to get it. It's Watkins on the board. Baldwin has it stolen away. That's Brea who got a hand in there.
Freshman making plays. Wow.
Brea trying to turn defense into offense. That's Amsil. Brea patiently finds his shot. Just just have not been able to hit. And that's been the story for Dayton.
Oh,
An offensive foul on Bones, Hyland, Watson. Those two have been going back and forth from the beginning of the game. And this time it's Watson getting the best of Hyland.
remember that when he was talking to the ref earlier in the game, Jack? It's another one. It's like, why? Why? You're up 9. Why? Doesn't make any sense.
Elevator, be ready, Ace. Be ready, Ace. Be ready, Jameer. Stay down. Stay down.
Here, Coach Rhodes yelling over. Brea from a deep 3. Good.
That was from New York. He shot that one from Washington Heights. Look, that's exactly the problem. Like, why would you do that? Turns into 3 points on the other end.
But that's where they've been killing. Bones Hyland just runs the court by himself for an easy lay-in, followed by a walk. And right when you were starting to gather a little momentum, 7-point ball game, make it 8. Now you're all of a sudden back playing defense.
That is the definition of frustration. If you look up frustration in the dictionary, it's that sequence.
Crutcher called for a foul.
Personal foul charge to number 10.
He is third.
That's his third personal.
It's not a terrible thing, you know. No time runs off the clock.
Douglas gets the first. Who do you want taking this shot for Dayton?
I would say Jalen Crutcher because this is what he does. But Kobe Brea, if he starts heating up, I'm generous. Share the ball. Give it to the hot hand.
Crutcher draws a foul. It's Baldy.
Foul is charged to number 20.
Looks like they'll give it to Ward.
You see Ace Baldwin point to his ears there talking to the bench. He's like, I can't hear. You know, we know how vocal that coaching staff is with their defensive hand signs and stuff. It seems as though Crutcher took advantage of a miscommunication there. And hopefully he gets 2 points out of it.
First one's down for Crutcher.
Read it, Jameer. Read it, Jameer. Ace, get over.
So he can make this an 8-point game. Expect Dayton to pick him up immediately. He can get a free throw to go. Crutcher 2 for 2.
Quick foul.
Seemed like a foul, not getting the call. Bones Hyland went down hard. Now Baldwin taking his time. Baldwin into the lane, but missed it. Again, Bones Hyland is in pain.
So it looks like the other leg. Before he was massaging his left leg. This time it's his right, it looks like. And there's that physicality we talked about. It's been a battle out here.
We have seen Bones Hyland take some hits. Hard hits from the very first possession of the game. Been in and out of the lineup. Now Hyland leaves the game.
This is the opening. I mean, if you're Dayton, I mean, you hate to see any guy go down if you're a competitor, obviously. But if you're Dayton, you're trying to win this game. You have a minute and a half, 8-point game. You're in the bonus. And their best player, who's been in fuego all day, is now on the bench. Last time this happened, by the way, Jack, George Mason won in overtime.
Well, you really wanted to take your time there if your VCU could have bled some clock, but instead, Baldwin had a wide open lane. He just missed the layup. Now Crutcher back inside, shares the ball, but blocked away. Ward has been a force inside, and it continues.
Huge block by Ward.
Like Bones Hyland's going to check right back into the game. That's Banks.
If that shot would have fell, Jack, this would have been a, 6-point game?
1 minute remaining.
There's Ace just patiently dribbling under the basket. Now back out to the baseline, trying to share it. It's stolen away, and possession now.
Shot clock violation.
Shot clock violation right back to the Flyers.
So check this out. I thought this was a foregone conclusion. 2 points. Mail it. But this is why he's one of the top shot blockers in the conference. And then on the other end, before it led to points, this time it leads to 30 seconds off the clock, which in this scenario is just as good as 2 points. Well, I don't want, maybe not. But it's valuable.
Clock's under 50. Lead is 8. Bones Hyland's still limping around, but it seems as though he's going to try to come right back in.
If you're Dayton, though, you can't be worried about Bones. You got to be worried about your own business, you know? Whether he's in the game or not in the game, at this moment, you got to figure out how do we buy a bucket? Because we just, I mean, the last one who made a big shot for Dayton, not at the free throw line, might have been Kobe Bryant. So if I'm them, I'm like, give the ball to Ibi Watson and let him drive. Give the ball to Jalen Crutcher, let him drive. Or Brea.
So here's the bracket. We're in the middle of this VCU Dayton game. Davidson GMU coming your way right after this one. One side of the semifinals already set. Bonaventure, St. Louis, Saturday, 6 Eastern. Still some work to do down at the bottom.
This is like the ultimate chess match, you know? Feint, do you foul, do you...
Shot clock at 5. Now Baldwin pull up off the mark. Opportunity for Dayton. They're going to have to make quick work. That's Watson trying to go up for 3, but Bones Hyland gets a hand on it, poked it away, then draws a foul.
That's a really smart defensive play, Jack. Your best three-point shooter almost has an open look in transition, which in today's basketball game, you know, it's very dangerous. Gets his hand right there. Oh, before that, he got his hand up on the shot and then fouls.
First one good for Watson. Gonna have to create some kind of a quick turnover. I mean, under 20 seconds. Cut it to 6. It's off. It almost looked like he missed that on purpose. Follows it right into the basket. Shares it in a quick 2. So now you got a game. It's a 3-point play right there. Bones Hyland trying to run away with it. And Hyland's fouled. Wrong guy to foul if you're Dayton. One of the best free throw shooters in the entire A10.
Personal foul is charged.
I am so impressed by Watson. Look, he knew where the ball was going right there. Look at that. He knew where it was going. Passed it to himself, basically, and then turned a 2-point opportunity into a 3-point opportunity, which in under a minute situation, you're down. That's a vet move. Savvy move by Watson.
That's Wokagee that was waiting to lay it in. Hyland good for the first.
If you're Dayton, you have 2 timeouts. You have a good 3-point shooter in Watson. You have a good 3-point shooter in Crutcher.
2 painful free throws if you're Dayton. Now Ward still picking them up. Full court. Clock.
The clock
winding down. Eating a ton of it. 3.3 seconds left. 5-point game. Clock's running out. That's it.
That was the most anticlimactic ending.
That's it. They were hanging around. Dayton was trying to just have one strange possession, turn it into something, but in control really all game long. Was VCU and able to get the win by 5 points. You see Coach Rhodes sharing some words there with Crutcher. Crutcher, the senior.
Well, I mean, look, he had 8 points at half, 21 to end of the day. So Crutcher really did try his best to will his team back from quite the deficit, nearly a 20-point deficit.
Coach Rhodes, this was a physical game, back and forth. There were bodies flying from the very beginning. Give us your read as this played out down the stretch in the second half.
Well, first of all, you know Dayton wasn't going to quit, not Coach Grant's teams, that's for sure. So my hats off to them and their battle. We got up, I think it was 18, And then in the last 4 minutes, we were playing like we were down 18. Holy cow. So, but you know what? It's physical. It's March. You know, it is what it is. And you got to find a way. And I told these guys, just stick together. We're not a pretty team. We have some nice, pretty plays at times, and we're smooth sometimes. But there's a lot of times we're like sandpaper. We're young. We're at times immature. We get emotional at times. But we compete and we fight. So that you saw that today. You saw everything in the spectrum from VCU basketball today. But really proud of our guys.
You left it all out there, Coach, and talk about not the prettiest finishes. The last two times out against Davidson and George Mason, it didn't go your way. You're playing one of them coming up next. What are your thoughts going into those matchups?
Find a way to win, right? Find a way to win. Both of them are very good teams. Both of them played us very well last time we played them. So, we have our hands full. But, the biggest thing at this time of the year is find a way to win. Find a way to win. But the number one thing is you got to stick together. And I thought even though it wasn't always pretty down the stretch here, we stuck together, we helped each other, and found a way to win. And we got to do that tomorrow.
Coach, we really appreciate your time. Congratulations.
Appreciate you guys. You bet. Thank you.